2017 to 2018, a series of events led me to completely question a lot of things. Then I started running into a bunch of vessels that kept going, remember who you are. So I set out on some journeys to learn some things. And what I'm discovering now is, from the age of birth to roughly the age of 32, 33, I never knew who I was. It's like I was out here sleepwalking on autopilot. I didn't know majority of the things I learned in the past 3-4 years. And what I come to understand is that people have known about this their entire lives. And I go, I was not exposed to this. Again, it was like I was sleepwalking or stuck in a box. And then when I came out, no homo, it was like, but if I'm this way now, I've always been this way. I was just unaware of it. And that's where the confusion comes in, because now I'm looking at it and I go, these people, they've known it. And as I'm still continuing to learn who I am and what I can do, I go, if they've known it and they see it, they can use that against me because I didn't fully understand who I was or what I was doing. But now as I'm coming into a better understanding of it, I'm going, if y'all had just left me alone and let me go and do my thing, I would have came to this understanding. It's like I told myself in 2018, I knew that the moment I stepped out of that box, that the vibration I had was going to be different than everything outside. And it was going to update regardless of if I spoke to somebody or not. I could have came out here completely quiet. But because that vibration was so different, it was going to touch things. Subconsciously, thought-wise, energetically, it was going to update regardless of what I said or did. And the more I go out, the more I notice in the updates in time, it's that each individual person is updating differently on each level. Faster than most can keep up. Some people are already at the finish line, some people aren't. And I go, the more I learn, the closer I can see the finish line and what it should look like. And then I go, but the people that reach their finish line, they're going to get another upgrade or an update, and they're going to want to get to the next finish line. And I go, with all these distractions out here, which I assume are what people are thinking is their purpose to keep me in a spot. I go, no, I seen all of this other stuff. I need to get there. But I'm currently trapped in a box that they don't want to let me out of, which is, in all due fairness, is fair. But to me, if I had been left alone, I would have never been in this box in the first place. And consciously, as an entire species, we could be at a different level, at a different playing field, in a different plane. Or if they weren't looking at my background and they just listened to how I'm explaining these things, they would go, oh, this man might be on to something. But instead, they look at all this paperwork and they go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I don't even like to throw the black card out there, because to me, that shouldn't have nothing to do with it if we're all in the same mental playing field, if we're all one in this subconsciousness, which again just further distorts the picture, because I go, why don't everyone understand this? We can blame it on generational education. We can blame it on what people go out here and learn, the conditions that they're in. But I go, the higher ups and higher places, they understand this to a point. But they should also see that to fix it and eliminate some of the worries and stress that we have as a species, they can make a difference, but they don't. And me, I'm going, I've seen where a lot of things end up. I've seen where things could go. I see the changes that are taking place among some of these vessels and how they're talking to people. And I go, the more that talk gets out there, the more everything's going to update. And people are going to jump through these levels regardless of if the rich people give up the money or not. And as you can see, it's causing an inverse in reactions. We're going through another recession. Banks are collapsing. And those people on the East Coast, that shit's done. They think they're superior anyway. You know what that led to? War on their side. And the only reason they're fighting us is because they understand that we were the last. They started out first over there. You think about the Western Hemisphere, they're just now getting all this spirituality, but if we use it properly, we become the first. We beat that side. That's an alpha omega paradox if you think about it. all the languages, all the history we got. We look at all the languages and all the stories, and they ended up here in America. And if you think about it, when we got to America, there was already something over here. So you look at that paradox, it was something over here, the spirit went over there, created all of that, and then it came back here. That's where the lineage of ancestry comes in. Because if you think about how the Egyptians did their creation, if you look over here, when we got over here, we discovered this land, they were already doing that same stuff. So it went from here, over there, in Africa, and then back over here. If y'all don't see that cycle, I don't know what to do with y'all anymore.